We ended last episode in 1858. Lincoln and Douglas had just debated in Washington Square. The canal was open, and so was the railroad. And two immigrants from a German mining school were standing in LaSalle and looking at the ground. Matthiessen and Hegeler. They met at a mining school in East Germany, came to America together in 1856, looked at the coal, the canal, the railroad, and said, "This is the spot." Up in Wisconsin, lead miners had been digging for 30 years. At the bottom of their shafts, they kept hitting a dark rock they couldn't use. They called it blackjack. They threw it in a pile. Matthiessen and Hegeler were mining engineers. They knew exactly what it was: zinc. The ore came down from Wisconsin on the Illinois Central. The coal was already here. 2 tons of coal make 1 ton of zinc. Everything they needed in one place. They broke ground on Christmas Eve, 1858, and they almost didn't make it. The zinc market was flat. 2 years in, they were nearly bankrupt, and then the Civil War started. Zinc goes into shell casings, brass, cartridges, buttons on every uniform. The war that was tearing the country apart brought the Illinois Valley together. It united it, forged it. The demand exploded overnight. The plant that was months from shutting down became essential. They built more furnaces. They ran them around the clock. Engineers came from every mining academy in Europe, German, Danish, Austrian, because that's where the work was. By the time the war ended, they weren't scraping to survive. They built an empire. By the late 1800s, LaSalle, Peru was the largest zinc-producing region in the country. They called it Zinc City. From 1880 to 1910, the Gilded Age, strikes and riots shut down plants across America. Carnegie, Rockefeller, workers getting ground up everywhere. In LaSalle, nothing. Not one work stoppage. Because the guys signing your paycheck were also your neighbors. One was your mayor. The other gave you a park where your kids play and a pool where they learn to swim. They knew what the valley gave them, and they gave it back. In 1885, while the plant was still humming, Matthiessen and Hegeler helped fund a small clock company in Peru, the United Clock Company. Matthiessen was mayor for 10 years. He personally paid for the city waterworks, the electric plant, the first library, the high school, which is LP today, the hospital, which is IVCH or OSF today. He took his private estate, Deer Park, and just gave it to the city. That's Matthiessen State Park now. Hegeler was a little quieter, but he gave too. He donated 4 parks to the city of LaSalle. Hegeler Park, the biggest one, with the pool and the baseball diamonds, that was his. If you're from the Illinois Valley, there's a good chance your grandfather or your grandmother worked in one of those buildings. Or your mom. Or you played Little League at Hegeler Park. Or went to LP High School. You might even take your kids to Matthiessen today. That's 4 or 5 generations getting their livelihoods, their education, and their childhood memories from infrastructure that was built by 2 immigrants and just given away for free. Then came World War I. By 1914, the company was 56 years old. M&H was running full war production. Zinc for shell casings, ammo packing. The woman running the operation was Hegeler's daughter, Mary. She made sure every soldier from the LaSalle, Peru area got a wool blanket before they left for camp. But the Bureau of Investigation showed up at her summer home one night, searched every room looking for a picture of the Kaiser. Someone had called them, a neighbor. And down on the factory floor, the men feeding the furnaces, the ones who spent their lives breathing in zinc dust and building this valley, they had to register as enemy aliens and get passes just to keep their jobs. They showed up anyways. Mary Hegeler Karras. She was making ammunitions to fight the country her father was born in. but she kept the town that he built and his legacy alive. Matthiessen died in 1918, the year the war ended. 62 years in America. He built an industry, built a town, survived a civil war that saved his company, and World War I that tested everything he built. He left behind a park, a school, a hospital, a whole city. And it all survived the next big hurdle in American history, the Great Depression.